Klingons in Star Trek. These are just
What is up, everybody? Medieval strategy time. It's time to get medieval here. Let's go. We are chilling. It's another day in the medieval metaverse. How's everybody doing? Drop a 9 in chat if you're looking forward to getting a little medieval today. Keeping a close eye on all things gaming and Web3, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna cut the music off right there and just tell you straight up, today has been an exciting day. We've been seeing a lot of action happening. What's good, Ed Willie? What's up, Kiwi Kago? I'm gonna start you off with something solid, which is a listen to earn code. If you're here right now at the start, then you get this listen to earn code. There's only gonna be 5 available, so let me tell you, you snooze, you lose. Let's see. Today is going to be all about lore. That's right. We're going to hear about the lore unfolding in the medieval metaverse. So let's see. You're going to be able to collect 500 Aurum with the code word lore is now active. Let's get it. Let's get it. You can claim that very simply, very easily. We got 47 members. We're up to 47 members in the community. Shout out to everybody. TJ Saucier, Stinky Scrub, Cox, Sism, J Squared, our newest members, Wowzers, Tweedius. People checking out and just in time because we have a new, not only do we have a new bounty that just went up today, but we also have a new multi-step bounty feature where we can create multi-step bounties. So for instance, how we had our level 1 push-ups and level 2 push-ups, now we could create all of that in one trial of strengths push-ups. Step 1 you unlock, with this number, step 2 X, etc, etc. Very dope. So plan on me playing around with that a bit during the stream today. We're gonna build out some new quest opportunities, and if you have something that you think you should be earning some Aurum for, maybe that's for supporting you because you have an Aradina PFP. Then we can always set up bounties for things like supporting you, supporting other aspects of the medieval metaverse. What is up, Rose, the kitchen lady from Brazil? That is exciting. We got viewers here from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. Todos brasileiros lá se divertindo. Que bom. Today's the 4th of April, 4-4. It's a good day. We have new challenges, new features here for our bounties. So make sure you go ahead and you're completing your bounties, claim your secret code. Other than that, folks, our Adina is growing at an alarming rate. the community, I think we're up to nearly 20,000 members in the Discord right now. If you want to take a look at the mute scan, you can see how many people are holding these packs. So it looks like we're topping out around 930. Now I'm starting to see lower, the number of packs topped out at 900 and let's see, 928, 929. And it's hovering around 927, 929, which tells me there's some people buying and selling these. But it looks like, we definitely need to start bringing some more people into the ecosystem. How are we going to do that? We need to start getting some gameplay. And folks, trust me, we're not the only ones out here. Shardbound today just released some gameplay showing what they're working on with their newest, with their upcoming launch, or shall I say relaunch of Shardbound. Keep in mind, Shardbound is from was last in 2017. This is a game that's basically been bought and revived and brought into the dynamic of Web3 infrastructure. You might say, hey, this looks very similar to Aradina's gameplay. Well, I'll tell you that I had the same thought. Now, the gameplay might be the same, so there's a lot of discussion about what is really going to define where players wish to go. I'm curious.
Play a match of
Shardbound. Let's watch in.
The scene and for you.
Let's tune in and watch this match of Shardbound. We can learn a bit from this. What is good, Samwise? Samwise, did you get to listen to Earn Code lore?
Jeez, give us a moment. Gonna walk newcomers through what they're looking at on their screen. So first and foremost, today I will be playing the part of Petra. Much like in the video you guys saw, Petra is a plucky and quite irreverent adventurer. Her only downside is she very much gets into trouble and gets in over her head in some nefarious situations today.
Did y'all see this happened earlier today? Did y'all see this?
So another match, hopefully a rematch where I can win against Commander Varden. Now Commander Varden is Petra's natural foil. Commander Varden is the exact opposite of everything Petra is. He's just a massive mountain of Kovashi. You can think Klingons in Star Trek. These are just a warrior tribe of people that take absolutely no gruff, and he is an absolute bully on the battlefield. And Petra, on her side, her cohort and minions, they rely a lot on tricks and sneakery.
I'm interested to see how, I think there's going to be more of a fantasy vibe that you're going to see to this. It's a medieval fantasy vibe.
Understanding. This is definitely not going to be Petra's forte, but hopefully I'm going to be able to pull this one off. Now, in front of you, you see my opening hand, and I'm going to talk you through what we're looking at. This is not the worst hand in the world. First and foremost, we have the Spellboxer. She's awesome, really great.
You'll notice that a lot of this, like the part, like you have the attack strength, you have the health, and you have the cost. A lot of it looks just about, in alignment with what we're seeing on Aradina as well.
Great early game card. The Spellboxer comes out early on the battlefield, but every time I cast a spell thereafter, she gets a lot stronger. She can seriously punch, and for early game, that's going to be huge. Wrenchman. I like Wrenchman. Wrenchman's got a wrench named Lola, and he's going to be perfectly doable for early game, because I think the trick to victory here today, folks, is...
This is Shardbound. For those who don't know, let me give you some context here. Shardbound is a new competitor in this space. Basically what happened, I forget, like Bazooka Tango is what the name of the development group or entity acquired this game, Shardbound, which was developed but never released, and it was just like something that kind of like, or I guess it was released, but it was just like discontinued. And so now basically what people came along and they said they acquired it, and they're integrating Web3 into it, and this is going to be sort of, a competitive Web3 medieval strategy game. It is more on the fantastical side, the fantasy side, than Aradina, I don't see a questing mechanic. I don't see a kingdoms vision. I think very much so it's just a different strategy of like, hey, we can buy some very solid product IP that hasn't been, that there's an audience waiting for it, that would be anticipated, I think it's a clever move. It's a clever approach for where the market is, like where our Arena is. It'd be hard for you to start building a game from scratch right now and catch up. Shardbound actually has a chance here.
Going to be ensuring that we keep Commander Varden starved of mana, at least in the early game, so I can get domination in the midfield. Now, I tried this before in a video, and it didn't go well. I'm hoping with this shuffle of cards, it'll be a little bit better. And then lastly, we've got a Skyborn Crusader. Now, unfortunately, those are much more a mid-game. You can think mana, which is in the upper left-hand corner, this gem. You can think this is a 4-cost mana card, meaning that it's going to take about 4 turns before I'm going to be...
Wait until you see the animations on this.
Means that he's much more suited for mid-game. You can mulligan in Shardbound. We can click any of these cards and decide that we don't want the card, and it'll deal us a new one. I'm actually going to try, I think... I'm going to go ahead and shuffle out the Skyborn Crusader, because... my trick here is going to be to try to collect these little mana gems as fast as possible. I want to see if I can get someone a little lower cost. Let's see what happens. All right, we got a Buccaneer, 2 mana cost. That's a really good sweet spot for early game. So let's talk about what victory is going to look like, and then I'll introduce you guys to our contestants really quickly. You'll notice on the battlefield in front of us, there is this blue gem. 1 gem appears for the first player, 2 gems will appear for the second player on their first turn. And when you run on top of your gem, of your color, you get to get some mana. Now down here in the lower right, you'll see that I've got mana. You accrue mana and a little bit more every single turn. No surprises there. In this case, I'm going to be able to grab this gem, and I'm going to be able to use 2 mana on my first turn. But the trick here is going to be Varden's going to get 2 gems on his side of the field. And what I want to try to do is try to sneak over there and get his gem, because then we can slow him down and I'll have a chance of pulling something out. Okay, real quick. For those who do not know our contestants, I will be playing the part of Director Petra, and you'll notice she's got 1 keyword on her card called Scorch. Scorch meaning that her single attack, which is a ranged attack, she's got a little plasma sidearm, goes pew pew. That attack will bypass armor.
I like this guy. I don't know if he's a founder or who he is, but he has a good streaming personality.
Fighting up against General Varden, and now taking a look here at his card, if you haven't seen General Varden, dude is a monster. Dude is an absolute beast. He's got 1 point of armor by default, and if you're not aware of how armor works in Shardbound, it's similarly to a second health bar. Incoming damage is deducted from your armor first, and then your health second. But more importantly, he's got this tricky little keyword on there called Armor Smith. That automatically restores 1 point of his armor at the end of every turn. This means General Varden is very comfortable and confident being right in the middle of a battle, punching his way to victory, whereas I'm gonna have to try to skirt around the edges. And yes, for the questions that are popping up in chat, I apologize if I'm missing it.
Look at the quality of these graphics. It's almost like League of Legends level. If they're like, having something that's already at this level is massive. This is very massive.
Yes, armor does not replenish. Armor only can replenish through external means. In this case, his will, because he has the Armor Smith keyword, and that allows him to restore 1 point of armor at the end of a round. But that is not by any stretch common across all cards that have armor. And you'll notice as we get a little deeper into the game, one arrangement of cards, the mechs, these robots, they have very, very high armor, but they do not have the ability to restore it. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to start by trying to get, I think, the Buccaneer out. My initial strategy.
If any questions come up, let me know, y'all.
Field at the start of Varden's turn. 2 crystals are going to spawn, and I want to try to grab one of them. So I'm going to rush the field and see if I can get to his side of the battlefield. This is going to be my early game gambit. If I can make this happen, I'm golden. Now, in my video, it went sideways, but I don't think that he's got the same set of cards on his side anymore. So I think today I'm actually going to be able to pull this one out. I'm going to grab my mana crystal here first. That's going to let me drop out
look
the
at the
Buccaneer.
quality of
Buccaneer's
those graphics.
solid, not gonna
Oh
lie.
my god.
He's a 2/4 coming out early game. He can do some decent damage, but more importantly, he's durable. I'm going to stick. You'll notice I'm going to spread myself out here. I don't know where these crystals are going to spawn, but I have to kind of go a ring around the rosy around this thing in the middle. So I'm going to try to see if I can maybe get the Buccaneer to duck to the right. I'm going to start ducking up here to the left, and wherever that crystal spawns, my hope is to be able to grab it. Let's see how Varden's turn goes. All right. 2 crystals are out. No surprises there. Grabs his first. Awesome. Okay. So if you haven't seen the video, oh my goodness. Okay, so
that thing's beautiful.
Yeah, I was hoping for a very different shuffle. Varden had in his deck, he's got these 2 things called Tempest Hounds. I really didn't think this was going to happen to me twice in a row. For those that don't know, Tempest Hound is a nasty little early game creature. It's only costs you 2 mana, but it can spawn out of a boulder, which in the middle of the field, here we've got one. And it also can move and attack on its first turn. So it immediately came out and bit Petra in the face. Okay, so just like before, I don't think I'm not going to be able to reach that crystal with my Buccaneer, and I can't leave this guy behind anyway. So we're going to get rid of him first. My guess here though is we're likely going to see Varden make a play for this crystal on his next turn. We know where he's going to go. I want to make sure that I can punish him when he does. So I'm still going to do a bit of a ring around the rosy. Drop that Tempest Hound. That did some pretty nasty work on my Buccaneer, but for now, I think I'm in a good position. I think it will be easier to spread out my heroes and minions and move around clockwise, because he's going to go for this crystal and I can trap him in the middle and just layer on damage. The idea here with Varden, again, we've just got to make sure that Varden is always going to be punished for his choices. So let's put out our Spellboxer and let's put out here our Wrenchman and see exactly how this goes. We know he's going to have to go for this second crystal. I did not get my early game Gambit. Let's see what he does with it. Okay. All right, we're getting into it now.
Very cool, y'all.
Okay, so he has a Splinterwing Primal out on the field. Not too worried about it. You'll notice it's got a green number.
Are we gonna be playing this on the
its
channel?
Attack damage.
Chat, what do you think? I'm liking this. This looks very cool. What do y'all think?
Boosted. It has been inspired. And I'll talk about that in a second. But first and foremost, Splinterwing Primals, you have to be nervous because they have a keyword skewer. And skewer means each of their attacks actually cripples their opponents. They shoot these like bone darts and pew, right on through your ankle, and everything is terrible. And so that will end up crippling any of their targets, so they can't run nearly as quickly. And yeah, it's a chicken skewer. Nom nom. But I'm not too worried about him for now. So we're going to finish out my plan, and I'm going to start beating Varden in the face because I think that is our best strategy. The faster you start getting some damage in on him, the better. Now you'll notice his armor took 1 point of the blow from Wrenchman. Wrenchman, thank you for your service. And now we just kind of got to do a bit of a ring around the rosy. This is a terrible little, I don't even know what we would call this, like not a shortcut, just
it's a lane.
Crevice.
It's a lane, bro. It's a lane.
Let's punish him.
You gotta, this is like similar strategy as what we're gonna see in Battlegrounds.
Because if you leave Varden to be a bully, you're gonna have a bad day. Now down here, what did I get dealt? I got Trauma Guard. Now she's gonna be great later on. Trauma Guard is think of a healer in most of your classic RPGs. At the end of each turn, Trauma Guard heals an adjacent wounded ally that has 3 or less remaining health. That means you kind of have to really be hurting for Trauma Guard to give you any love. But if you can keep Trauma Guard paired with a mid-game hero, somebody that's a little bit more durable, then that pair can do a lot of strong work in the game. Now, you'll notice here I have one of the mechs. Remember earlier I was talking about them. Mechs are very high armor, very low health. Now, why does that matter? Well, in the case of Trauma Guard, it actually doesn't. It's not a good pairing at all because Trauma Guard only really triggers when the mech's health is hurt, and mechs don't have much health. They've just got a whole bunch of plating. So I don't love this honestly as a pairing between the two, but we're gonna need to get these guys out here anyway. I'm going to pick a Hound mech, and I'm gonna keep the Trauma Guard close to it. I'm gonna see how this pairing ends up fleshing out later on. Let's see how Varden takes his turn. Notice he healed by his 1 point of Armor Smith. Petra gets hit by the Splinter Wing, and okay. Oh, well played. Okay,
This guy's getting owned.
okay. So this is less good.
This guy's on hard mode.
Great at all, actually. Let me talk you through what happened. The Splinter Wing Primal, who I ignored, probably I guess to my detriment, he has just crippled Petra, and Varden spawned a Blight Spore Seedling next to Petra. This is a creepy little pus ball that ends up poisoning the ground.
These cards are crazy. They already have a really deep and evolved card set here.
Poison ground, but I can only move one at a time. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna shoot him in the face because that was just rude. It's gonna be a bit of a pickle. I gotta get some heavy damage here out on Varden. I'm gonna bring in my Trauma Guard as intended. I'm also gonna use a tune-up. Okay, this will be a great combination. Tune-up is a spell that if you play it on a mech, it gives them +2/+2. On anything else, just +1/+1. And in this case, I'm going to use that spell on my mech to make it stronger. But I'm also going to use the Spellboxer to lay out some serious hurting on Varden. The Spellboxer, every time I cast a spell, she gains +2 attack this turn. This is going to bump her up to a 4/3. It's going to make my Hound mech super durable. Not the end of the world. I just got to get my Petra out of this. She's crippled right now at 17 health. Let's compare this to Varden, who's sitting pretty at 24. So not doing great. And as we're starting to get into mid-game here, Varden is definitely holding strong. I'm going to let's tune up this mech. Ow! Awesome. Spellboxer, let's go. Let's punch him in the waist, apparently. But yeah, that looked like that hurt. All right. I'm going to keep these paired together. Actually, I don't know whether it's going to be better for them to follow off of Petra. I don't know. I'm going to send this guy over here. I want to keep laying down damage on Varden because I am definitely lagging behind in terms of the damage here. Let's see what Varden's play is. He heals his Armor Smith. Petra, ow, another 3 off. And the crippling again of the Splinter Wing Primal. And he spawned... Oh, he spawned a Grove Tinder. This is a beefy mid-game 4/6. Actually, it's not a 4/6, it's a 3/6. But this banner over here keeps making all of his minions more powerful. Their attacks go up by 1.
Dude, this opponent is OP, dude. This opponent is OP.
Less than great. I've got to get her out of here, but
this guy's getting annihilated.
Him in the face just because I want him to think about his life choices, but I don't have a whole lot of great options there. I'm not going to attack on Varden because honestly, I got to get Petra some mobility. This is a really terrible situation over here, and I'm going to end up losing this game fairly quick if I don't get out of here. I'm going to head that direction.
Look alive, people.
Trauma Guard, do your thing. We're going to have to catch up to Petra because Petra can't really move towards you. Down here, who do I have to throw out? The Skyborn Crusader. Remember, I had mulliganed him. Yeah, he's back in my hand. This is great. I'm going to go ahead and throw him out. He's a much better pairing than a mech with the Trauma Guard. As long as they stay adjacent to each other, then even if he takes damage that drops his life underneath his 4, then Trauma Guard is going to kick in at the end of the turn and give him a little needing healing love. Wrenchman. Why don't we just have Wrenchman go toe-to-toe with Varden? Who knows?
Let me introduce you to Lola.
He might be able to pull it off. We don't know, people. Maybe Wrenchman can do it all by himself. playoff beard. Wrenchman is the red shirt ensign, right? He may very well be, but I have faith in him. Let's see what ends up happening. Again, we're standing
this
at
game right
Varden at
here,
22 health.
You know, it's gonna go on for a second. This guy's gonna lose. But yeah, this was earlier today. Very much like what we're seeing from Aradina, but to be honest, I think it's very different to build something from scratch. Offers you a lot of potential to think in a way that you can if you're building off an existing platform. We'll see. We'll see how things evolve. Either way, Shardbound is coming along very nicely indeed. In about 5 minutes, we're going to be able to do a little bit of questing here. 8 minutes. Cool. Let's see how we're doing on our medieval strategy community page. I've had such a long day. I've been up since 4 a.m. coming on to my 12th hour. And just going hard, exercising, staying fit, eating well. Most important thing. Make sure you complete. This is an easy 250 Aurum right here, folks. Easy 250 Aurum. Let's see. I'm going to add to the store. Let me see. I got something here for you. Okay, we're here. 9 Aurum. Hi, Kevin Waifuman. Somebody made this. Actually, I'm not even gonna. I think it's off-brand. I don't think I could put that in there. I need something else. I'm gonna put another emote in here. All right. A little love there. Whoever wants one of those emotes, only 100 of these available. This is my very own emote. You know how like Travis Scott in Fortnite has his own emote? This is another version of that. You can use it in Decentraland. It's a front flip and a finger point. All you need to say hello or goodbye. So if you tuned in today and you got your listen to earn code, you could exchange it in for a Decentraland emote, the sign off meta moves, and that's how. And you could even sell that on the market and make some dough, whatever you want to do with it. You can see people are collecting their Aurum, and just recently we've now added our daily. So if you have, for instance, the Aradina comics. The one problem that I find is that actually here I'm gonna do something. Earn the male warrior role. So if you show me a screenshot you will be awarded Aurum as well as the which gives you 50 Aurum each day. Okay. It's done. All right, folks. So now you can go ahead and claim those. Oh, looks like Samwise already putting one. There it is. Let's watch this. Let's watch this latest lore together.
Port enforcers lord around the dockyards under the pretense of maintaining the peace and upholding the law. However, such men are often violent and juvenile, relishing in the power their position affords. They are well known for delivering savage beatings to those unlucky enough to cross their path for nothing more than petty misdemeanors and imagined slights. Port enforcers may be easily lured to corruption by the beckoning of an ample bribe, allowing smugglers to move their wares through the docks. But those who do should beware. The Council of Lead Shareholders, which governs the merchant navy, has little patience for trials. They will sooner pay an assassin to terminate a corrupted employee, swiftly seeing justice done and the coin returned to their pockets.
I just realized I was muted there. Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee they played a lot of Shardbound. The cards, they look very similar. And at this stage, you know, Ardina needs to have the right blend of originality with proven, you know, pathways. So it's not necessarily a hugely bad thing that they're adopting a lot of the same design language and experiences that they've found in the market that have been successful. Clearly, Shardbound did something right if people came and acquired them to later turn it into a Web3 game. So this is strong. This is a strong indicator. The question is going to be really, how are they going to evolve and present a unique opportunity to players that Shardbound won't? I don't know. That's going to be, folks. I'm honestly we're going to be playing both. We can't pick favorites here. All I know is we're going to have competitions, tournaments. We're going to be playing our medieval strategy games. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. All right. We could start sending our warriors out on some quests now, looks like. Yeah, both games are going to be fantastic, both worth playing. That's why it's medieval strategy, you know? So Shardbound doesn't have questing. They don't have a quest. So I think in that way already there's a lack of dimension, or at least a benefit of the kind of dimension that Aradina is showing. A Shardbound has yet to reveal. Not to say they could. Any info on Shardbound character card mints? So far, the only thing we have is that they're going to be doing early playtesting this quarter, and then later this year we should see something playable for regular users. There's so far, honestly, I've yet to see any information regarding their Web3 strategy. They said if you want to secure something, you just go ahead and you go shardbound.com and you can find the pre-register button. You can pre-register. There is a 2017 version of the game, but even they said in the stream today, they were saying like don't live stream the game because they don't want to confuse people with what's gonna come and like what they're working on, and that's what I understood. Alrighty. That was epic, right? Well, we have a lot more on the way. Apparently this week we're going to start to see more access to gameplay. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. For now, y'all, I hope you enjoyed our preview of other options in the community. Unfortunately, we won't get any opportunity to play this for some time. So we got to sit tight and look forward to our Adina. Looks like is the closest to reaching a streamable game state. I'm going to go ahead and give you another listen to earn code here. This is going to be galore. It's going to be 5 available, 500. There you go. Galore. And I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. PST, y'all. Appreciate you, Kiwi. Thanks for coming through, Samwise. Appreciate everybody. Ed Willie, Rose the Kitchen Lady. Cheers. I'll see y'all. And got any questions, you know where to find me. Peace.